like trauma dumping on them just because you need someone to talk to. And at the very crux of this, we have to understand that relationships require sacrifice, relationships require compromise, and relationships also require inconvenience. Like you're not going to be, it's not going to be your way or the highway the entire relationship.
And,
right?
and I would question that friendship because I expect a friend to come to me. I want a friend to come to me and to express, what's going on in their world because I care for them.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But the point I'm kind of getting at is that we've done so much work and everybody's been in therapy and everybody's been focused on.
Everybody been in therapy?
There have been quite a bit of that's the thing now. That's the thing more so now than it ever has been.
Yeah, it's more prevalent than it was. But I'm generalizing for sure. But it's like everybody's doing self-care. Everybody's focused on, well, what's going to bring me peace and what's going to make my life better and this and that. And so you think that any tiny inconvenience means that the relationship is toxic. And that's just not the case.
It's not the case because, like you say, relationships, it's a sacrifice, and we've got to look at it as that.
Well, why don't we make sure that that distinction is clear? Hey, I was listening to a podcast, and they say if things get hard, you should leave, which is not what we're saying.
No, absolutely not. Just because we are human, things are going to be difficult.
Yeah, and because you're two people with two different backgrounds.
Yes, it's going to be difficult.
Even if you have the most, because you all say this to me often, like even if you have the most similar, compatible background ever, marriage is still going to be hard. You still have things that you're not going to know about each other. I feel like y'all still learn new things about
all
each
the
other.
time.
And you all are both growing and changing because that's...
Wait. Do you feel like you're learning new things about me still?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't feel like you're learning new things about Mom?
I don't feel like I do realize in our 44 years together that we both changed.
Yes.
But, and this is a whole different show, but I was so careful, so intentional in the dating process, in the selection process, that no, I don't feel like in 44 years, and I want to distinguish learning something different versus learning something unpleasant or learning something that I don't like or surprised by. No, I'm not sure in 40 years. Now, the 4 years of dating, that was part of what was going on. But in 40 years, I don't know a single time I've woken and gone like, oh my gosh. Well, I just thought of something, but this is news
to us.
What I guess I have learned that I didn't realize is just how big the differences are, not so much in Teresa and I, but in men and women. Because when we got married, one of the things that used to frustrate me the most about you is that you didn't think and see things like I saw them.
Which that makes no sense that you would expect that.
It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Not,
so,
I think I've already said that once, that I'm not you. I can't be you. I'm not designed to be you.
So maybe that was a big discovery, but no, I'm going to think on this as we continue on. I can't think of things I've learned about you that are new, different, and I certainly can't think of anything I've learned that I dislike.
I think what you're saying is you haven't learned anything new or different or unpleasant about the core of who Mom is. And that's really what you were looking at in dating, right? It's like, who is it? Because Mom always talks about...
Because you didn't know. I was so so excited about the birds. That's a new thing that you didn't know about me.
Yeah,
little stuff like that's not
what she's talking about. So
not important, but it is.
Let me just explain. So this Christmas, I knew Teresa is a really big nature lover. So what I got her for Christmas is a bird feeder with a camera, which I knew she would love it as a gift. I didn't know, and you don't like when I use these words, right? I didn't know you would obsess over the gift. And I didn't know you'd stick the phone in my face 3 times a day to tell me to look at a bird.
Yeah.
So pretty.
I didn't know that. But I mean, I don't, that's not what I'm considering a really big
thing.
learn.
Okay. All right. So we could go a little deeper, I guess, with that.
Yes. So kind of bringing us back to the topic for today, we are going to go through the difference between when something is toxic versus difficult. We're going to give you some warning signs that you can look for to know if your relationship is toxic or difficult. And then if you are in a toxic situation, we are going to give you some resources to be able to move away from that.
Hey,
yes.
Before we do that, let's start with this. How did you get, if you are in a toxic relationship, how did you get sucked into that?